loves. Welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for joining us again. If you did not know, I'm Zar. This is my beautiful husband, Joe, and we are here to talk about all things Married at First Sight. So,
No, what are you doing? Ready for love?
Yes, we are. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. I got our chicken, our sweet potatoes is in the oven, so we got to take the dough. So let's talk Ready to Love. We are now on, let's do some housekeeping. If you're new to this channel, bust down, subscribe. It does not cost you anything. And then you can see every time we upload and bring you something new from either Ready to Love or Married at First Sight. Right now, I have a new show. I think it comes out tomorrow that I want to watch.
What is it?
It's the one about the married obsession. Married.
I don't know about that.
It's on TLC. Glam Shay, if you're unfamiliar with Glam Shay, she's another YouTuber whom I love. She's actually my birthday twin. A beautiful young woman, and she's on a new show, and I think we should kind of get into it. Okay, so before we do that though, let's talk Ready to Love. We're on Ready to Love, season 5, episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
We open up. We're not going back. Okay, we know we missed 5 episodes. That's between you and your mama. Okay, so where we are now, the men have the power, as they call it, which I heard. And actually, I don't remember, so let me pull up my notes.
This episode kind of started with them, Uncle Tommy telling them that he wanted them to like go on these dates.
That's outside of their comfort, or not with somebody that they were usually courting, right?
I always hate this week.
I actually like this week. This is one of my favorite weeks because they don't do much that I feel like is kind of gives these people the help that they need. You know what I mean?
But I think I agree. They should be giving them more help. They should be more present. But I think that it should be more catered towards people that they're interested in. I think for most of the time they just have them kind of sinking and swimming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they instruct them to do stuff with people who they weren't that into. Which to me it just typically doesn't go anywhere. Like you know what I mean? Because they weren't that into them for a reason. But I've never seen them go on a date with somebody who they're not that into and then end up with that person.
Well, they might not end up with him, but it might stir something up, like what happened with Walter and Zadia. I actually, first of all, I love the name Zadia. I've been like really stewing on this for the last, y'all know I love Z's, I'm Zar, and I just love her name. But what I want to respond to what you said really quick, because I do think that, I think it's less about going out with somebody you don't like and more about going out with somebody you haven't had the opportunity to get to know. Because those are two different things.
I don't think that's how they take it though.
I think Walter took it that way. I want y'all to know I'm coming out here and letting y'all know that I love Walter. And I don't know I just think he is such a man's man. I love I don't love his story about his wife, but it draws on me, you know what I mean? And I like to watch him navigate the woman because of all of the men, he seems like one with the least amount of quirks. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I would agree
Deontay
with that.
is like mush mouth. Yeah, he always wears his chest out. He's just the most normal to me. So,
but we also had some insight that Walter is like a fuckboy.
But Walter went through trauma.
This was not.
Walter went through trauma.
This was also not anything that happened on the show. This was some personal insight.
I didn't hear that he was I didn't hear all that. I didn't. When they even explained it, I didn't get that.
That's what they said. That wasn't my. That's what they said and what they were trying to say. So we're not confirming or denying it. We just saying full disclosure. This is information that we had, just in case this comes up later in the season.
Exactly. So all these people go out with people that they weren't normally going out with, and Walter and Zadia go and get their feet done, which I thought was really, really cute. Zadia has this real chill energy, but it's very powerful to me.
But can we back up? I'm sorry, it's not cute. Don't take me to go get my feet done and my nails. We need to do something neutral. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not going to take you to the barbershop and just have you sitting there. You know what I mean?
He got his little feet done too.
Or getting your hair cut too. I'm not doing that. Like, we're going to do something that's a little bit more inclusive of both parties. I'm not going to get my nails and my hands done because that's not what
men do take manicure their hands. That's not like far-fetched.
It is far-fetched if you go into like an actual spa. I wouldn't suggest taking, especially somebody who you don't even know like that, like a spot, a dude on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing if it's like, you know, Uncle Shannon, if he going out on a date, you kind of know, you don't even need to know him just from social media. You know, he goes to the spot or whatever.
Right.
But if you're just like shooting your shot at somebody, that should not be your first date.
I don't know. I've been on I've never been on a pedicure first date, but I've been on a spa first date. So
very different. Getting your nails and feet done, very different.
It was very different. It was very different. That's very true. But I liked it. I liked that they got the opportunity to have a chat, because I think that Zadie is going to be one that kind of goes the distance. I don't know who she's going to go the distance with, but I see her moving through these men and making indelible impressions, and I think that's really great. Like, I think I like her, and I like how she speaks. She asked him about what he wants, and does he want to be married again, and what does family look like for him, and he spoke about wanting to have different traditions. And that's why I like him, because even when he speaks with such conviction, and which could be why he a F-boy, because even I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I thought that they had a cute date, and I didn't think that it was anything wrong with them going to the little mini pedicure place either. So we can move on. Sabrina and Sean. Sean is the new guy that kind of got implanted in. Sean is this guy.
Yeah. That was weird. It was Sean's
mad
thing was weird. He's an actor, and he was acting
and
like
he
an
was
actor.
giving it. He was giving it. So him and Sabrina go out. Sabrina, another one of my favorites. It's something about Sabrina that is very, what is it?
Sabrina reminds me of the girl from last season. So I don't know.
With the blonde hair.
Yeah,
I hope
same.
you insert it.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I think she does give, I don't want to say scattered. She gives fairy, like, but she also is like a homegirl, and I love that. So,
yeah, she's very down to earth.
Yes, very down to earth. She goes out with Sean, who is 44 years old, doesn't have any children yet, is still looking for that, which it's like weird, because we condemn these men for wanting younger women, but a lot of times that's the case. A lot of times,
yeah, I mean, because Sean is in a predicament here where, like, anybody around your own age group is done. They either are done because they did it already, or they done because maybe it's their ship is passed, right? So I think it is a situation where, like, Sean might end up off the show with a young buck, because he's not getting the catching the fish that he's looking for. And I mean, that's just a difficult predicament to be in for him, because I don't blame him. That's something that he wants in life, and he just hasn't had it yet. You know what I mean? We've seen that on both sides of the aisle as far as male and female. It's just how the cookie crumbles for certain people. So, and
it's the truth, and it's disheartening though, because when you're dating, not necessarily like, I mean, he's a handsome. I mean, he looked like a lemon head to me. Like an actual, I love lemon head, yo. That's my very favorite candy.
I wasn't ready.
But have y'all ever seen a picture of the lemon head? Just painted black. That's Sean. So like literally. But I do see the appeal that women have to him, and I do think it's kind of like, you know, unfortunate that he's in this space where, especially where he's meeting these women, and they're already established, their children are already self-sufficient. Who's looking to go back and have a little baby? You know what I mean? So I actually get that. But I have two questions. First question is, what did Sean say his occupation was at first?
He said he created stuff.
Okay. He was a creative.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, I create things. Because that's what he said. And Shorty was like, so you ain't got no job. Yeah.
She did say that. So his thing, I was just watching, and his thing said journalist. So
they called him Tommy, and they was probably right.
She definitely called him a Tommy. She did call him Tommy. He
probably has a lot of things on his resume. Journalist, mailman. He sell oils.
Not oils.
CDs, DVDs, TVs. I got whatever you want type dude.
Okay, so he hustled me in front of his flow.
Yeah.
My thing is that I thought that was a little weird, because I almost was certain that in the first time he was introduced to us, it said actor, but Even then, I could be. It did say actor.
It did
Because
say
you know
actor.
what? You know what I said? I said, "Oh, so he ain't got no job."
Yeah.
That was the next thing
It
I
did
said.
say
He ain't got
actor.
no money. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I said. Okay. So I had to really go back to that. Second thing, did Sabrina tell us she didn't know how to speak Korean?
Yes, because she didn't.
Why is she on the day speaking Korean?
Because she went back because she embarrassed herself. She led with the whole Korean thing on day one. And then the guy called her on and said, well, tell me something or something like that. And then she said, well, I don't really know. And then she went back and did some.
And now she's sitting at the table teaching words like, you can call me.
Yeah, no.
You know.
No.
I don't know. It was just like, girl, didn't you just tell somebody? Like TV, we're going to be able to see this. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Y'all bust down. Let us know if she said she couldn't speak Korean. Or did she just not know the song the bull was singing? It could be either way. I don't know. But either way, Sabrina is one of my favorites, and I hope she finds love. Okay? So, Camille, crazy ass Camille, and Naeem go on a date. This was some of the most uncomfortable television I've watched in a long time. Camille is a fascinating human being.
Camille is nuts. And Camille
gives mean girl to me. Camille gives
she is crazy girl to me.
And she also gives that. And I'm going to tell you why she gives mean. First of all the faces. I really can't. Oh, child of a fighter. You know what it is for me?
She a hater.
In her heart. In her heart of hearts of hearts. Something on her soul.
Yeah.
Ain't like all the way aligned. So, and that's number one. Number two, you know what she gives?
Hater.
No, she gives, I wasn't cute before. People pay me attention now. So now I'm going to treat people however the fuck I want to.
I wouldn't be surprised if
because the way she sat down with that grown man and was talking to him.
It was scary.
She did it twice this episode. And I just was like, No person should talk to people that way. Like, I think that there is something when you are in the presence of a man, like a man, where you feel obligated to give a certain amount of respect. And in the same way that I would say this, if this was a man talking to a woman a certain way, I think the rules still apply. Like, I think you still have to come to the table with a certain amount of respect. You're on a dating show and you the one with an attitude? I don't know.
But we can start at, this is not your man.
But then, like, feed me. Didn't she tell him to feed her?
We could start at, this is not your man.
She was weird.
This is a dating show. You just met this guy. You guys are courting each other. Yeah. Like, you guys aren't even really officially dating, right? Y'all not even there. No one is there yet, right? Nuts. So for her to sit down and ream him out for simply having a conversation with another woman.
Oh, well, that's not Naeem. You're talking about Cornelius.
Camille. I'm talking about Camille.
No, right. But we talking about Camille and Naeem. You talking about Camille and
I'm talking about Camille, period.
Okay.
Camille did this.
The episode did open up with Camille apologizing for how she acted towards
I'm talking about Camille, period. Like, Camille has been a nut every time I've seen her. So I'm saying, first of all, we're at a point where you're not exclusively dating anybody on the show. So for her to even do that was a red flag in general.
She's had so many red flags.
She's had so many red flags.
So many.
She's got to go. Camille got to go.
And not to go to Cornelius, but since you took us there, Cornelius got a couple red flags for me too. Because Cornelius sees the BS shit that she's doing. But it's like, oh, well,
yeah.
So long as it don't get to this point.
Yeah. It's
like, what?
It's like, were you, ignored? Like, in part of your life, were you not accepted or something? To the point where you think that this is okay. Because this ain't
neediness, cute. That, like,
right.
oh, what you doing? Don't hug him too long. Or that, like, who does it? Can I tell y'all a short story? I'm going to just insert this here. We went to a hockey game the other night, okay? And Joe is sitting. It was an amazing Joe. Amazing night. Me, Joe, and this woman. And her, whomever. Her man, her husband, her boyfriend.
I think it was her husband.
It had to be somebody who had the patience of Job. Right?
Yeah.
She's talking to my husband the entire game.
Nonstop.
I mean, everything. Me and him will make a joke about something. He'll say something, and then she'll like respond.
She'll like chime in.
But she was not talking to me, I want to be clear. She was talking to him.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because he looked good that night or whatever the case may be. But I'm saying all that to say, I just thought, me and him made a joke about it. Like, oh my God, like,
yeah.
I said, watch when she come back. She gonna be sitting on the outside. Her husband gonna be sitting next to you. Like, we was, chit-chatting. And it's like, you get to this place in your life as an adult where you don't need to show up a certain way. Like, I don't have to, like, beat my chest when I'm out and everything like that. But that's because I got a certain amount of, he knows boundaries. He understands our boundaries, and they don't have any, and that's the difference, right? He understands our boundaries, and so do I. But the difference here is that they on a motherfucking dating show.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? So if I'm saying all that to say, if I had popped off, that would have been like, oh, okay, that's part for the course. That's her husband. Girl, this ain't even your main.
This not even your dude.
This ain't even your dude. Like, he literally said and told you in your face that he still want to date the other people here.
Yeah.
And you are like, that's my boyfriend. At 35, 56, 79 years old. That's your boyfriend?
Yeah, she's scary. She got a couple.
She on the spectrum.
She is.
Yeah, that's what it is. And people on the spectrum is dating better than that.
Yeah.
We know because we watched the show.
And it was great. It was a great show.
Fantastic show. But I'm saying all that to say, she sat up in this man, Naeem's face, and asked Naeem how much money he make, if he gonna be the daddy to her child, and when can he start?
Kudos to him because he handled it well. He was very calm and collected, you know what I mean? And he finished the night, because I know a lot of people would have got up and walked away. And he finished the night and went on.
She is fascinating. So Deontay, Mumin, Sabrina, and Frank. Mumin is the one that looked like Tweet. Really beautiful chocolate girl. Sabrina, my fave. Deontay he got a speech. He got to have a speech impediment. And I hate to take it there. But is it me? You know what I mean? That's why his chest is always out, to deflect from the speech impediment. Mm-hmm. And then they had Frank.
Oh, Frank. That was...
That really made me uncomfortable, y'all. I don't know.
I mean, I wasn't ready for that, and just the thought of it really, like, it makes me uncomfortable. Like, I'm not really... I thought Frank was cool, like, before that moment. And if y'all don't know, we talking about the moment where Frank takes...
To see her out.
To see her out on this date.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes her a drink.
Yes. And it was horrible.
Then he starts to shake the drink.
It was so...
And while he's shaking the drink, he's staring her in her eyes, like, doing this, like...
I wish y'all could have seen our real-time interaction.
Oh, it was like... I wanted to leave my own house because I was that uncomfortable. Like, it was... Frank should never, ever... But this is why they need help from Uncle Tommy and his wife and whoever. Like, come in and say, you know what? Let's play this tape back. You see what you're doing here with the shaker? Never do this again. Don't look her in the eye when you do it. Don't look on the ground. Just don't ever do it. Like, you can make the drink, bring her the drink. You can shake the shit up or whatever. Do it under the counter or whatever. But don't do... He should... Like, they got to play themselves back so they can see themselves. Because sometimes you need to watch film. You need to watch the tape. In the sports world, when you... After a game, you go back and they say watch the film. Because you're watching what you did. It's easier to see and evaluate your performance from a bird's eye view. This is what they got to do. They got to go back, sit down, and they should watch the show with them.
No, because then everybody going to be walking around like this after that.
I probably would prefer to see some of them do that. Like Camille. You know what I mean?
Camille needs to die.
She got to watch the tape.
And she the one that been engaged several times. And...
You got to watch yourself.
I almost don't even believe it.
Sometimes watching the tape...
That sounds so bad.
Watching the tape could really, like... You know what happened? A prime example of watching the tape... Love and Hip Hop, which I do not watch anymore, but when I did watch it, K. Michelle was on it, right? She was acting a fool. She was a completely different person afterwards, and then when she was in an interview on the Breakfast Club, they said, well, what brought about this drastic change by yada yada? She said, I saw myself on TV. She said, I saw myself.
But she had to wait till the season came out.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Let's not wait. Sit down and play these cups back to them. So they can see, you know what I mean? Because y'all need to correct your behavior.
So they go play miniature golf or whatever the case may be. Deontay, Mumine, Sabrina, and Frank. Okay, which was a really cute date. It looked like a really fly place too. And Mumine was really feeling. Her and Frank sit down and talk, and they talk about sexuality. He says he's a hypersexual human being, and that he wants to indulge in intimacy, that physical intimacy prior to marriage, and that's not a place that she's in. And they had a really transparent conversation. And she left feeling like, I know where he stands with that. So I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate him. And I still want to see where it goes. What do you think about that?
I thought they both handled it well. You know?
But what do you feel about people? If I'm somebody, if somebody, if you tell somebody that you're a hypersexual human being, and then they say, well, I'm not having sex until marriage, you don't think that poses an issue?
No, especially if a woman say it. Just stay the course. Like, you know what I mean? Period. I mean, because it's just a lot of talk. We personally have been in places, where she said one thing to me and then another thing happened.
I'm about to turn this shit off. Why would you have me like that?
Go with it. A word to wise for the brothers and the fellas out there.
No.
Say, I respect that.
I'm about to throw up. I cannot believe you
and just go with it. I mean, you know what I mean? Because things change, feelings in the body. Because a lot of times, too, you got to take into account when people are saying that they're saying this about strangers.
Yeah, true.
And people that they do not know, right?
Yeah.
And with new information, sometimes comes new opinions, right?
Yeah.
So she could be saying this on your first date, right?
Yeah.
By date 5, she could be feeling you in a completely different way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not enough to me. For me, if I was talking to somebody, I was telling a friend, I wouldn't say, oh, she ain't fucking, go home. No, I would say, stay there.
Yo, I want y'all to know, I don't know the next time me and Joe having sex.
Tonight.
No,
I
it would not be tonight. Because I don't even like what he just pulled on here, okay? I don't even like what he just did. So, let's move on. That was funny. Deontay and Sabrina sit down and chat. Deontay has 3 baby mamas.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. That's another red flag, and that's another thing that needs to be on the ticker on the bottom of the screen.
Agree.
Also with the kids need to be on the ticker on the bottom of the screen. So when they put up, this is Deontay, and then they have his occupation.
Yes.
Next to his occupation needs to be /3 kids, 3 baby mamas, or whatever. And it should be on everybody's, like, it should say Camille, 2 kids. It should
be like a basketball player.
We should we need to know, because that also takes into account how certain people react.
Yeah, for
the pairing of certain people. If we know that, Mumine doesn't want kids, and we know so-and-so does, but they have 1,000 kids. Like, we need to understand kind of the inner workings of this all. Because when they talking, sometimes they like, yeah, I got 4 kids. I'm like, whoa, wait, when did they have 4? You know what I mean?
I agree. Oh, I skipped over a date, guys. Phil and Aisha went on a date. Aisha started crying during the date. I want to be very clear. This was the best I thought Aisha looked. She looked she always looked really cute. The black girl blind. She always looks really cute. But today she looked specifically soft to me. And she gave. Her and Phil go out and they have a conversation. This was another thing I was confused about. Phil took out Aisha, but didn't they say that Aisha got in a car accident and Phil was on his way?
I thought that's what they said.
Well, maybe it was just friendly. So it was kind of weird.
She said, yeah, I thought that was it.
It was kind of weird because I was like, aren't you supposed to be taking out people that aren't really on your, like, radar kind of thing? But whatever. Maybe they had never had a sit-down date, and that's what he was taking the opportunity to do. They sit down, they talk about kids. He said that he wanted kids, and she said that she usually just gives, like, the no, I don't want kids kind of thing. But it was specifically because she had so much trauma behind having children that she didn't want to go through that again. And to me, that makes sense. Like, I absolutely positively get that. She's still a relatively young woman. I don't even think she's 40 yet.
But this is another thing. She's saying this to you and she don't know you, right?
Yeah.
We just talked about a similar situation with young Jock and his wife from The Real.
No, not Young Jock.
What's his name? I don't know.
Jeezy.
They all the same to me. I don't follow these
Young
rappers.
Jock is
Young Jeezy, young somebody. Young Jeezy and his wife.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Jeannie Mai.
Jeannie, where she in her previous relationship, I think, told her dude, I'm not having kids. I don't want to have kids. Mm-hmm. And then met the right one. And still said when they first got together, she told him, I don't want to have kids. They got to know each other. Boom, she pregnant and she's elated about it, right? That's so true. This is another area where I say, just stick with it. Like if you into her and she into you, you don't know what type of opinion that will change once you guys are really in love with each other and you like, we gotta make a baby because we need more motherfuckers like us.
Yeah. I think she has 3 children though. She has either 2 or 3 children.
This is Aisha?
This is Aisha.
Yeah, I think she does have a couple kids.
Yeah, she has a few kids and I can understand.
And they grown too.
But it's so fascinating to me to see all these men wanting children. Mm-hmm. Isn't that great? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, they're single. Right, so it makes sense to me because they are not married. Most of them seem like they upstanding guys who's just now out here dropping these seeds off and trying to, get the next baby mama. So it makes sense that these are guys who want to be married and they want to have kids with their wife and not Keisha from down the street. So
Tasia and Sean go on a date. Nothing much happened here except for they made a pregnancy pact. Let me stop now. They didn't. No, but he asked her,
he trying to have kids. He asking everybody.
Which I let me tell you something. One thing I've learned in dating is that men know what they want. You do not have to be with a man. You ain't got to be with a man at this age for more than 6 months before they say, this is what it is. You know what I mean? You get to a certain age where you just like, this is what I want. Are you able to provide that or not? Because my time is currency. You know what I mean? Not my time is money. Money is whatever they call it, right? But my time is currency. And it's the only commodity that I am unable to recoup. So at this point, I do need to lead with, is the baby factory open or closed?
Yeah, because the time is also running out.
Time is running out.
They ain't got a lot of time at this point.
And Tasia, I think she had a really good date with Mr. Sean. Was able to communicate that, like, yeah, this is where I want to be right now. This is what I'm going through. And I do see that for myself in the future. So it was a relatively uneventful date, but I thought that it might be something stewing and brewing there. Okay, if y'all hear a beep, that's my chicken in the back. We got about 5-10 minutes to go though. So next we had, who is this? Cornelius and Courtney. Now this is the last date, okay, before they start running bitches up out of there. Courtney is the young girl whom I actually really like. But yeah, it's debatable. I don't know. Courtney went out with Cornelius. Cornelius honestly only went out with Courtney because his little ding ding did this when he saw her. That's the only reason why.
Wait, what did it do?
It did this. It did this. Let's be honest. Like, you know what I mean? Because they don't have nothing in common. She sat down with that man and told him, is you ready to be like, can you see yourself with a boss?
Oh,
Is you ready to be with a boss?
Please. I also wanted to leave at that point, but I wasn't there. So
Which I talk like that too. But it's like, no.
You don't.
But some people can handle it. But you are the boss. But that's here nor there.
She was on the wrong show. She meant to be on Love and Hip Hop.
You know what it is for me? I believe in being sex forward, but I think sex forward can show up as energy. It does not have to necessarily be overt. You know what I mean? Oh, I gotta touch your thigh and do this and do that. Like, I believe I'm somebody who exudes sexuality, but I don't know that I would be called sex forward or anything. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think that she does a lot.
But I think a part of it is
she does a lot.
Insecurity, right? Not being fully comfortable with who you are, where you have to go to these rooms and kind of promote yourself and talk about yourself in a way that you're pumping yourself up or saying stuff like that. Like, you would never, when Beyonce was single, she wasn't asking people, are you ready to be with a boss? Like, I'm just sure that she wasn't saying stuff like that.
I'm not sure, but I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, it's just, how comfortable are you in your skin if you are really a strong, successful person in your own right? You don't have to meet somebody and tell them, are you ready to be with somebody strong, successful?
And lead with your poo-poo. You also don't have to lead with your poo-poo.
You don't have to do that, no. She gives me immature as well, too.
She gives me pretty girl syndrome. Sometimes you step in a room and you're so used to getting people that fighting for people, your personality didn't develop.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that. And I mean that respectfully. I actually really like her vibe. But I don't think that she's all the way developed because she's had the ability probably to pick and choose. You know what I mean? Which isn't a bad thing, but sometimes it can breed this kind of energy. We come down to it, the men decide the two people that need to be in the bottom are obviously crazy ass Camille, okay, and Courtney. And the real tea is that the only reason why that Camille's still there is because her ass is fat. And I don't give a damn what nobody say.
Yeah, Camille definitely got denied, I think, because of the looks a little bit. Because Camille is definitely at the tip of the hot crazy scale, and she should have been excommunicated.
Camille should have been out of here.
She should have been gone.
The only reason why Camille is still there is because Courtney insists on wearing rainbow fashions. Okay? Like, insists. I don't understand it. Girl, we have moved on. And it's just like, Camille sat down in front of this grown man's face and said, come on, I got a 7 o'clock.
Literally.
This could have been
a
Zoom.
Freaked out on another guy who, for like they had a 10-year relationship. What did she call him? You a dumb. She called him a name.
Oh, that was Cornelius. That wasn't that Cornelius.
Yeah,
that was Cornelius.
what did she call him though?
Your country.
You old country, dumb country bumpkin or something like that. Like, this is the stuff that she's been doing. You know what I mean?
That we aren't talking about.
Yeah, that she freaking out on people. She talking to people like she doing one of these joints like this. Literally. Like she doing that. Like she's for sure at the first opportunity should have been gone.
It's not up for that.
Only her looks are keeping her on this show.
And by her looks, he mean her fat ass. Okay? Because her and Courtney, I think Camille's a beautiful girl. I want to be real clear. I think Courtney is a contender as well. The only difference is that Courtney shows up in those rainbow fashions, those slinky dresses with no ass to boot. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, I really do believe that. I think these men led with that. I think that Courtney sat down with Walter and was kind of salty because he was like, I'm not about to give you no energy right now. Yeah. You thought this was a date, and I'm here to tell you, it ain't.
It's not.
You got to go.
You're
and I thought that was, ready. You're just not ready. And I would have to fucking agree.
Yeah.
But I think in the same way that they threw 2 men away last.
Yup, they should have just put them both in the bag and throw them.
Both of y'all got to go. Yep. Because Cornelius did not fight that hard for that hoe. Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Camille. I didn't mean to call you that, baby. I'm sorry, baby. That wasn't nice. It's just how I speak, y'all. It's just how I speak. I'm sorry. My bad, sis. My bad. But listen. I just can't. Camille really bothered me. Even the way she spoke to Deontay. Like, I just know when I'm not interested.
I don't like how Camille speaks to anybody.
I don't either.
I've never seen her have a conversation that didn't.
I don't even like people speaking like that around me because my energy can be real knuck if you buck. And it's like, and I've worked on that. I'm very peaceful now. But sometimes people bring it out of you. You know what I mean?
Camille would bring it out she would bring it out of you. Camille is definitely
and it's just like, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't like that energy. I like nice people, and I think she speaks very nastily to people, and I don't care what y'all think.
She does. Okay,
so bust down, we done. My chicken is going off. Bust down, subscribe to this channel. Let us know what you thought about Ready to Love, Season 5, Episode 6. And we'll see you beautiful mother jumpers later.
Peace.
Bye.